Hello, happy. I'm EJ,
I'm Sean.
And I'm Phil.
and this is Warpzone. We're back. We took a week off, so
Felt like the entire Oscars was Warp Zone, at least the last half of it, right?
oh, dude, like that's like topic number one that we have to talk about. Like,
Sunday's 94th Academy
oh,
Awards.
like we have video right here, but the big moment that everybody's talking about is this right here, the moment that Chris Rock made a joke. And here, I want to play.
Chris Rock about his wife Jada Pinkett Smith. Smith walked on stage and smacked the comedian. Oh, wow! When Rock tried to laugh it off, Smith directed expletives from his seat. After winning Best Actor for his role in King
That's
Richard,
nuts. Can we just like pause the video really quick? Like like what the minute that I wasn't watching it, so I wasn't watching the Oscars live, but like when I first saw this, yeah, I was just floored. I was like, wait a minute, because I got like a push notification on my phone. And like when I saw it, I was like, no, you've got to be joking. So guys, what do you think, Sean?
I think Chris got rocked. Apparently, the context of this is that he made a bald joke, I guess.
Yeah.
And
so basically what happened is he told Jada Pinkett Smith, made fun of her, not made fun of, but he had said, he called her G.I. Jane, and referencing the fact that she had no hair. However, she suffered from alopecia, which is, she came out in 2018 and said that she has this disease that prevents her hair from growing, and so that's why she goes with the bald look. And Chris Rock, I guess, took it too far. She did do the eye roll. Not sure if you guys saw that. She did do the eye roll. I don't know. I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I think Will Smith maybe took a couple of steps too far.
Yeah, that was really absurd. I think the reaction that I was seeing first was everybody thought it was fake. It was hard to believe it was real. People were saying, "Oh, Chris Rock was kind of moving his head." Like there was a lot of analysis that was all wrong. I mean, obviously, we all know really this is real, and that's a scary thing. I think. Like no one knew how to handle this. This is unprecedented. It was wild, but it made it a great show. At least it was entertaining. This was a real life celebrity death match. I know you're a fan of that, right, Sean?
oh yeah, it was strange to see. I mean, the Oscars. I was complaining all yesterday, essentially on social media, that the Oscars are useless. Nobody watches them because who cares? But then you have something like this happen, and it's like, oh, I do want to watch it. Just it turns it into a reality show suddenly.
It was WWE style theatricality introduced in the Oscars, and I think it's going to inspire other people to do wild things in the future. I don't think this is the end. Like, obviously, this should not be a precedent that is followed, but I don't know. There's so much attention on this moment now that people who are thirsty for that kind of attention and happen to be in the Oscars, facility, the venue when it happens. I don't think they're going to hold back like maybe common courtesy and professionalism would dictate that people do. This could be the start of something. This might not be a one-off thing. I mean, Will Smith says that he kind of apologized to the Academy, not to Chris Rock. Let's note that, and hopes that he is included again. I definitely think we're going to see him back, if only to draw the eyes. People are going to want to see Will Smith just at the Oscars, even if he doesn't do anything wild like this in the future.
They're just going to want Will Smith to slap everyone. Francis Ford Coppola comes up.
And we got a comment right now. It's Son of Fernando saying, like, is the future of award shows? I think that for sure people were wanting something different. I don't think this is the different that people wanted, but sure was entertaining. It definitely got many people to watch, to pay attention. It got the clicks. It got everything.
His wife Jada Pinkett.
But I will say that I'm gonna give praise to Chris Rock here and say you recovered very well. First off, you got smacked in the face, and you just played it off. You're just you didn't.
anything else you think about for the
Rock,
slap?
For the
Rock's
slap.
ability, Rock's ability to take a
Oh,
punch is
yeah.
commendable. I mean, he doesn't flinch. He saw it coming, didn't step back, didn't fight back, which I applaud him for too. And he went on with the show. He kept on going as if, not as if he expected it, but he kind of laughed it off. And that's true professionalism. I respect Rock right now from the way he's managed to handle all this. Now, was the joke over the line? Is the other question. Should he have said that? Like, it's obviously not okay to make fun of someone's medical condition. You know, like I don't know. Like it was a crass joke, a bad joke. Slap, obviously, an inappropriate way to respond. And Will Smith's really lucky he's not facing arrest for this. It's only because Chris Rock's not going to press charges, apparently.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Sean.
I was gonna say, I think Rock made a joke like this in like 2016 or 2017 or something like that. Because I saw a bunch of retweets of people from 2016 being like, "He's lucky Will Smith didn't slap him." So
Yeah, because like back in 2016 when he made the joke about Jada Pinkett Smith, it was actually boycotting the Oscars because of just not being like basically just whitewashed, and so there was no like there were other people like that needed to be nominated that were of color, that of different backgrounds and different things like that. So that's what she was like referring to, and Chris Rock kind of called her out, but he kind of played it differently, I think, because he also was like, yeah, the reason that she's boycotting is she wants her husband to get like an award, because I think it was the football movie that Will Smith was in,
Yeah, it was
Concussion.
Concussion. And that joke was fair game, really. I think Chris Rock made a joke that was not fair game at the Oscars, and that now again, this doesn't excuse Will Smith's response. The man definitely has some things he's dealing with there, as you can kind of tell with that speech that was kind of all over the map. To me, that was the wildest speech of accepting a Best Actor Oscar since Matthew McConaughey was calling himself his own hero, which to me that was I could watch that one again just because it's just he's off on his own planet. And Will Smith was on his own planet on this speech as well. Then there were videos coming out of him just like dancing to like getting jiggy with it with this Oscar, like truly not a care in the world. So like whatever emotional turmoil he's dealing through, he must be over it by now.
alcohol.
Yeah, I guess so. But did you guys watch it live, or did you guys kind of catch it on social media? I wonder. Like I don't always watch the Oscars, but I happen to be watching the whole ceremony live. Out of nothing better to do. Did you guys watch this as it came, or were you drawn to it as you kind of noticed the talk develop over this moment?
The talk, because that's
Okay.
what got me into it. And like, you know, we have Best Picture is Coda. We have, of course, you mentioned it, Phil, with Will Smith winning Best Actor, and then Jessica Chastain winning Best Actress. But I mean, unfortunately, like, is this Will Smith's like first Oscar?
It is.
So like even that, like such a big moment for him, is overshadowed by the slap. So
and if I'm not mistaken, I think one time where he lost, he kind of like stormed off. I don't know if it was for Ali or something else, but like he took it really bitterly when he didn't win the Oscar before. So this man takes the Oscar very seriously. This is a huge career validation, but also his most embarrassing professional moment of his career on the same night. So
right. And
yeah, that's funny.
And like, you know, like of course I know in my head that like, oh yes, he won, but at the same time I'm also thinking like, oh, but it was the same time that you had the slap. So even if we're thinking like years down the road, like even next year or anything like that, I'm always going to think of the slap over, oh yeah, he won an Oscar. So not a really good look for Will Smith. But any other idea or thoughts on this?
I'd like to see the ratings spike, because you guys were drawn to maybe watch the Oscars after you saw this happen, because there was no greater sense of anticipation ever in Oscars history that can top the time between the slap and everybody just knowing. Everybody always knew Will Smith was going to get this Oscar, and he was going to have to kind of like address it. That was absolute magic, at least from an entertainment critic perspective. Like, wow, this is something real. This is happening. Too amazing to believe. But yeah, this is going to go down as the all-time most memorable Oscars, and it's not even memorable Oscars. It's not even close. There's nothing ever been approaching this. And there are other memorable moments too, like the Coda thing. That was really huge. So we had a guy from Phoenix who was deaf win the Best Supporting Actor Oscar. The Coda would have been the story of the Oscars. Coda was winning almost. I mean, Dune won almost everything. For a while I was thinking that it would tilt to Dune winning Best Picture, which I thought was impossible. But then it kind of seemed like the groundswell was heading for Coda. It was a big moment for kind of the deaf community claiming that statue, but no one's going to remember. It's completely overshadowed, almost an afterthought, really.
I think that's what happens with most Best Picture winners anyway. Very few of the Best Picture winners or anything anyone's ever seen. And
did you guys see Coda? Did you guys see
No.
it?
Nope.
And I couldn't tell you what won last year.
I was very underwhelmed by it. And I'm trying to even remember what won last year. That's a good point. What did win? I can't even think of it right now.
I don't remember.
I think Coda is going to be just as forgettable, though. Sadly, like it's a feel-good story that it won, but the movie itself is very Hallmark style. Like there's nothing special about it, and that was the case with a lot of the Best Picture nominees.
Mm-hmm. Drive My Car, same exact thing.
Oh, wasn't it Parasite last year?
Parasite was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
It was Nomadland, and I had to look it up. I admit it.
Oh yeah.
And look what that led us to, the devastating failure. That was EJ's favorite movie.
That was my favorite movie.
The Eternals.
The Eternals. But I mean, hey, it's top 10 of my Marvel picks, okay? So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
So one more comment we'll have from Sano Fernando. He said exactly, no one cares about him being Will Smith winning. It's all about the slap. So, I mean, there's that. I agree. Absolutely. But one thing that I do want to talk about, I'm not sure if you guys have seen it. I have to say, I binged it in like 6 hours. Bridgerton season 2. Oh, guys, I'm so excited for this. You guys watch like Bridgerton at all?
I watched the first season. I was a big fan of it. I like that kind of magical realism feel of the show mixed with. I haven't seen Downton Abbey, but like kind of to get that feel mixed with kind of like modern sensibilities. Love the combination. Big fan of the show. I'm definitely going to be getting to season 2.
Yeah, I will say,
How did it compare though?
Oh, season 1 is on a different level. Like I was talking to like one of our reporters, Tuna Giuliano, about this, and I loved it, but I loved it for different reasons. So first season, we go with Daphne as the main character who enters like the courtship. She's trying to get married. She falls in love, spoiler, with the Duke, who's not bad looking either, which is going to be the real reason why I stayed for the show, I'm going to be honest. But then like she goes through the whole process. She ends up getting married. And that's the end of it. This one, we follow her brother, who is the Viscount, who is the head of the household. And so we follow his love story of, he sees he's just marrying for responsibility. That's all he really wants. He doesn't want to do it for love, but then ends up like kind of caught between two sisters, and which besides that, I'm not going to spoil anything else, but I will say that like in the first season, I really hated the brother. And just how he acted. But in episode 3 of season 2, my opinion of him changed dramatically. Like I was all for him. I was like, yes, I'm with you, Anthony. I feel you, man. Like, I feel sorry for you. I'm supporting you. I hope you find the one and you make the right choice. So, that's my thoughts on that. But I really absolutely loved it. And then we also had the whole, like, what was it? Lady Whistledown. How we found out who she was. And we have that backstory also playing out. I feel that story was a little rushed behind like everything. There was a lot that was going on. There was one main, I guess, political thought that was going on, and it was just about how and we kind of saw it in season 1 of how Eloise, who is Daphne's sister, is all about like marriage is a trap. We don't like it. It's something that's like in society. We shouldn't go with it. We kind of saw that more in this theme, and I'm going to be honest, it kind of got a little annoying hearing it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. But that's my only downside that I didn't like about it.
Did it live up to the first season? Was that as good?
like I said, it was good. I don't want to say it was as good because it was just on a different level. You actually got to know like the background of like the whole family and everything like that, and why they were doing what they were doing. And it was it was just different, but I definitely enjoyed it. I would rewatch it again. I know I watched season 1 like 3 different times, and I would definitely watch this season again. So, Sean, have you ever seen it?
No.
No, not your kind of show.
If it's a romance about people using chamber pots, like in the 19th century, I'm not. Sorry, it's too old school. There's no romance there.
Yeah. For Phil, what did you like about, I guess, the first season?
I kind of expected Bridgerton or shows like it to kind of be like drawing room dramas that kind of like dull and stuffy. And Bridgerton was anything but stuffy. It's like, great cast, very diverse, writing that's pretty modern. I'm okay with like using modern sensibilities on kind of a historical time. To me, like it's a fun mix up. So it was unexpected and kind of refreshing.
Yeah.
So is it like The Favorite? Has anyone seen The Favorite?
Yeah, a little bit like that. A little bit. Yeah, it is a little bit like The Favorite. It's also a little bit like. Dang, I lost what I was trying to say. But there's some other. There's a few other things that are kind of like this. This is probably the biggest sweeping pop culture example of a success of that genre. But yeah, I think you're on the right track there, Sean. I think you'd like this one.
Yeah, I will say if you're looking for something to like criticize and be critical of, you can. One thing that I definitely like set me off after I was thinking about it is like, again, kind of like to your point, Sean, they're in no electricity, no running water, nothing like that. However, whenever they went into the gardens, they have fountains. How on earth do you have a fountain that's running and you don't have electricity? And I was like, I thought about that. I paused the episode and I actually got a little upset. And I was like, how do they make this work? I mean, I would get it if you have like some pump system that didn't require electricity, but these are like legit fountains that we see today that are like the grand fountains and everything. And I'm like, wait a minute. This is like an inconsistency that actually bothers me now. So that's why.
No, I think they existed though. I think they were. Yeah, I'm looking it up. It was just very difficult. Yeah.
Well, I guess, but we're not in Versailles. We're in England.
Oh yeah, those guys are so backwards.
So I mean, I would get it if we were talking about Versailles, but we're not. So that's where my headspace was, and I was like, I don't know about this. So, but that's what I have to say. I know that there's another show that me and Phil were talking about. Sean, haven't had a chance to talk to you about. Halo. Anybody see Halo?
Yeah, I'm going to stand alone on this as a big fan of the Halo show. Big fan. I really liked it. I didn't expect much from it. I was overwhelmed by how great the visuals looked. It's hard to make a good show or movie about a video game, especially a cheesy action game like Halo, but they did it. And I wanted to see where this goes. I've only seen the first episode like everybody else. Excited for Thursday when episode 2 comes out.
Phil, I'm going to say that I'm going to disagree with you. There was only 2 scenes in this movie or the show that I liked, which was the one that we're seeing right now, where at the very beginning, and then this one, whenever they Master Chief ends up like trying to land his ship at UNSC headquarters. Those are the only 2 parts that I actually enjoyed. Other than that, that's it. Like, it's got a lot to come back from with me. I didn't like, I mean, I love the games. I read some of the books. I really enjoyed them. But like, you have like right now we're seeing like the executive producers and everything of how like I was reading about how the creators and everything basically wanted to take a new approach to Halo, like away from the games, away from the lore and everything. And I would have been fine with that if they would have done this show differently. Because definitely like they've just rewritten Master Chief and I'm like, no, you can't do that. To me, that I'm just a stickler for like, hey, if you're going to change it, then let me know as a fan why you're going to change it and how you're going to change it. So are you into Halo at all, Sean?
No.
No, you've never played the
I
games?
think the series definitely needed some reinvention. There wasn't a lot of great fiction. I know some people are fans of the books. I don't know. I'm glad it's going in its own direction. I want to see where it goes. I think it's better than it could have been. It was very exciting. Like, what a great, like, first 25 minutes, especially. I like that there's more gore than you'd see in traditional Halo games. To me, it's pushing the boundaries in good ways.
Yeah, I will agree with you on that one. Whenever they got sliced and diced and everything else, I was very happy with that. I was like, yes, we're actually seeing it. We're actually seeing the massacre. I was cool with that. But as far as like the storyline too, I'm gonna go back and say, if you were going to go away from the video games, like what you could have done is just started the show and said, you know what, our Spartan program didn't work out. We're going to just, kill all the Spartans and restart Spartan 2.0 program. And then I could understand where this is going. Other than that, I'm not for that, because you're changing things and this fan right here is not happy.
They've openly admitted that they don't know anything about the games. And I was just looking up how many executive producers the show has, because that's generally a sign of how bad a show is going to be. Like Star Trek Picard has 20 executive producers. Why do you need that many people involved, that many fingers in the pie? The show has 12. What do you need 12 executive producers for? Including Steven Spielberg, who is only there because at least you know that name.
Halo did have a long and tortured path to this. There were rumors of the Halo movie like going back 20 years. Yeah, like there was potential for it to be really awful. I see where you're coming from, Sean, but like I like this show. I'm in. Now maybe it'll betray me at some point, but for now I'm all in on Master Chief.
I'm here, and I'm hoping that they betray me, because that's the only way that I'm gonna I give it to episode 3, because other than that, I don't really plan on watching it, because like you introduced Cortana, but you never really showed her. But then there's just so much that's going on, and I'm like, no, I can't. I really wanted to see, and the whole helmet thing blew it. He took off his helmet. I was like, no, we've never seen Master Chief. Nothing to Schreiber. I can't remember his name. I know his brother is Liv Schreiber, but I mean, other than that, I can't. I'm sorry. But anything else to talk about on this one topic?
I don't think so. I'm sad we won't have a slap to talk about next week. But
oh, that's true.
We could always make one.
That's true. But do we really want to touch on video games, since we're talking about video games right now, or are we going to wait on that one for next time?
Let's wait for next time, see what videos Sean comes up with.
Oh, that's true.
He's going to have Tiny Tina, maybe.
Well,
Ooh, Tiny Tina.
Have Elden Ring. We
Yep.
do have Elden Ring.
We do have Elden Ring. So, Sean, you want to really quick talk about Elden Ring?
I beat the boss that Phil told me to fight in the first try, so that was my excitement. If you really want to skip ahead and talk about Tiny Tina real fast while we're playing Elden Ring, as I'm massacring these people, Tiny Tina sucks. Don't buy it.
Yeah.
If you like walking into rooms and fighting the same skeletons over and over again, just play Elden Ring, because look at this. You can ride a horse and just massacre people. Ride around in circles. Thing of beauty.
Thing of beauty.
What?
Yeah.
I feel personally insulted that Sean was able to beat this boss so quickly, because it was the complete opposite for me. I went up there and he just demolished me, and I'm afraid to even go back.
Are we able to skip ahead the video a little bit? We could go like 5 minutes in. You can just watch how I cheesed him.
Yeah, so 5 minutes in, if we can fast forward 5 minutes. Is that a thing? Can you? Oh, scrub. What's the name? Scrub it.
You just want to see.
There we go.
Oh, and here's how I cheesed it. Thanks, dogs.
Oh, I need to get those dogs.
Yeah, I just kind of sat back. This is what pets are for. Someone to fight your battles for you.
He doesn't know what to do. You got him cornered. Like, Ghost Dog's taking care of business. The real MVPs.
Yeah.
They're like chomping at his health.
This is true MVP gameplay. Could only get from an Elden Ring professional.
The way I understand it is the game really opens up a lot after this battle. Did you experience that? Is it like a different game once you're past this guy?
No, because then you go into the castle and there's this like Dark Knight that shows up out of nowhere and just massacres you in one hit. So, and he's not even a boss.
This is like genius.
Yeah. How did you know to do this? Did you look this up, or did you just decide to?
No, I just had the dogs, and I was like, they're good.
It's like, let me just try this.
Because otherwise, you can see he's destroying me.
Yeah, you gotta go with your gut and just stay away from him. Let your dogs take care. Like, the dogs didn't take care of the next guy though at all?
I couldn't summon them in time.
Okay. Do they? Can you do them indoors too, or no?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, wow.
So the summons are useful. There you go. Goodbye.
There you go. Sean gets an applause.
I cheese the crap out of the boss.
That's awesome.
Love it. That's inspirational. What a moment to grow on as we leave Warpzone for the day.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you guys for joining us. I'm EJ.
I'm Sean.
I'm Phil. All right,
And
see you
have
next
a
week.
great day. See you next week.
Don't look at my stats. Don't look.